On r/AmIOverreacting today, saving money embarrassed a friend, borrowing something changed everything, and a dinner didn't end as planned. Let's begin.
Am I overreacting? Brought cheese slices with me to McDonald's to put in burgers. Had a fight with a friend. Whoops. A friend was hanging out at my home. We decided to get McDonald's, but in Australia, it's expensive, and I don't believe in spending $16 for a meal, especially when I'm going to get hungry 15 minutes later. Anyways, a hamburger is $2 and a cheeseburger is $5.30. Sometimes when I go to McDonald's, I just get a hamburger and put my own sliced cheese in it and make it a cheeseburger. We went to McDonald's and I did just that. I brought 2 cheese packet slices, got 2 hamburgers for $4, and put the slices in. Keep in mind, we did drive through and no one was watching us, just us 2 in the car. My friend said she was embarrassed for me, and I said, I ain't paying $11 for 2 cheeseburgers when I just paid $4 and just brought my own cheese. She said if I did anything cheap again in public, she would be more embarrassed and would walk in front of me. She was actually serious. Then I said, your top is from Shein or Temu. I don't think you can speak. The little passive-aggressive argument went on, and I finally said, what is your freaking problem? What I'm doing is not that serious. I just brought my own cheese to save money. Not that big of a deal. And no one is watching. I feel sorry for you that you feel that you need to impress strangers at McDonald's. It was an awkward drive back home. Then she left my home. We didn't contact each other. Am I overreacting?
Hey, I wouldn't complain. I might have just asked for extra cheese, so it's double the cheese instead. Let's be real. McDonald's cheese doesn't even taste that good anyway. And in this economy, trying to save money isn't a crime. Also, it's not dine-in. You're not setting up a charcuterie board in the middle of the restaurant. It's a drive-through. 2 people, 0 audience. So the embarrassment here feels less about cheese and more about caring way too much about what strangers might think. And if a couple slices of cheese caused this much tension, the next story shows what happens when a friend changes something that was never theirs to change.
I charged my friend $90 after she altered the dress I lent her. Am I overreacting? I, 24 female, have a friend, 23 female, who came to me a month ago asking to borrow a blue bridesmaid dress. I was a bridesmaid for a wedding with a blue theme not too long ago, so I lent her the dress I used. She was a really good friend, so I didn't really mind helping her out. Anyway, after I handed her the dress, she texted me thanking me, and I have not really heard from her since. Anyway, the wedding happened, and a week later she came to return the dress she borrowed. When she came over, I asked her how the wedding went and whether or not the dress was comfortable. That's when she admitted that she had it altered to fit her better since she was smaller than me and that she liked it more snug. I was shocked, gagged, confused. I don't even know how to feel about it. She didn't even ask my permission to have it altered. Also, isn't it common etiquette to return borrowed things in the same condition you received them? Also, she could have just asked, right? Anyway, we had a conversation about how I didn't really appreciate what she did. She apologized and flat out said I could still have it readjusted if I wanted to wear it again, and that she was willing to pay for it. I told her I wasn't sure it would work since she basically shrunk my dress. Then she suggested I sell the dress, so I asked her to buy it since she took it upon herself to have it altered without my permission. She asked how much, and when I told her it was $90, she straight up told me it was too much, that she wasn't willing to pay that much for a dress that has been used. I feel like it's a reasonable price, as I bought it for almost $120. Also, it is a cute dress that I intend on wearing again. Am I overreacting for doing what I did? Is my reaction valid? Update. I have spoken to dressmakers, tailors, and dress experts, and they all said that the dress cannot be restored to its original size and form since it's made of satin. I even went to the actual shop where my friend had it altered, but they also said there was nothing they could do. Anyway, my former friend still refused to pay me and is still being a shitty person. Plus, she had the nerve to ask me to just give it to her or sell it to her at a lower price, and it got me wondering if that was her motive all along. She probably knew the dress cannot be re-altered. I don't know. After all that, I've decided to just cut her off and take the high road. I honestly don't have the time or energy to chase her down for $90. I know I can buy another cute dress with the $90, but I'd pay triple that to never ever speak to her or see her again. I ended up giving the dress to my roommate, who isn't a shitty friend, and thankfully it fits her perfectly with some minor adjustments on the sides, maybe, so at least the dress didn't completely go to waste. Sorry if this isn't the dramatic update some of you wanted. I know a lot of you were hoping I'd take her to small claims court, but I am choosing peace. If anything happens, I'll update, but for my sake, I hope that she stays the F away from me.
Okay, this one made me pause. Because borrowing something comes with an unspoken rule. You don't permanently change it, especially without asking. Altering a dress isn't like wrinkling it or spilling a drink. It's a decision that can't always be undone. And that's where this stops being a misunderstanding and starts becoming a boundary issue. What stood out to me isn't even the money. It's the assumption. The assumption that it was okay. The assumption that apologizing later would erase the choice. And when the solution suddenly becomes, just sell it, or give it to me cheaper, it does make you wonder whether this was accidental or convenient. Sometimes the cost of peace isn't the money you lose. It's the clarity you gain about who you don't need in your life anymore. But if you think that situation was uncomfortable, the next one takes us straight into public confrontation territory.
Am I overreacting? Found 2 hairs in my soup. I asked for a new bowl and for me to keep the bowl at the table, then I would swap it for the new one. Staff refused, so I asked for a refund. I went to a soup restaurant tonight, and when I got my food, I took 1 sip of the soup. While I was mixing the food a bit, I found 2 hairs. I asked the staff member to replace the bowl, saying, "Hello, can I please have a replacement bowl as I found 2 hairs in my soup?" The staff member was nice at first and said, "Sure." Then I requested, "Before you take this bowl away, can I please have this bowl stay here, and when the new bowl comes out, you can swap it so I know it's a new bowl." The staff member declined my request, and I said, "It's just to make sure that it is a new bowl." I used to work in a restaurant myself, and I know the dodgy things chefs do at the back and how they might not replace it with a new plate or bowl. The staff member then tried to take the bowl, and I said, "Okay, that's fine. Can I please get a refund instead?" The staff member said no. I then asked for a manager for a refund and politely said to him, "I found 2 hairs in my bowl. Can I please get a refund?" The manager was hesitant to give a refund at first and said, "We don't offer refunds." Me being a Karen now, I said, "You do know finding 2 long hairs in my soup and not offering a refund is pretty bad service. That's okay, I'll sit here and write a review with the pictures I took of the bowl, plus I'll just search up the number for food health and safety and file a report." The manager then said, "I'll process your refund." I am not the one to blackmail, but damn, am I overreacting?
Honestly, I don't think this is overreacting. Finding hair in your soup is enough to lose your appetite right away. Asking for a new bowl or a refund is pretty standard. I also get why OP wanted to make sure it was actually replaced. If you've worked in food service before, you know why trust matters there. Could the situation have escalated less? Maybe. But refusing a refund after a clear hygiene issue isn't great either. At that point, standing your ground doesn't feel unreasonable. It feels practical. Once you find hair in your food, are you trusting the kitchen again? Or nah? That's the end of today's r/am I overreacting? Because sometimes the line between reasonable and too much is blurry. If this one got you thinking, give it a thumbs up. Drop your take in the comments. Was it an overreaction or totally justified? And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Hit that button, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Where emotions run high and patience runs out. Bye!